Hello and welcome to the first video on my YouTube channel in ages. Um, this is basically my ultimate childhood dream coming true. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is one of the games that I used to play the most during my middle school years, and it's just a game that I spent so many hours playing together with Zelda Twilight Princess, which I've already streamed once. I am going to stream it again later on, but we are going to move through the entire adult, no, child Link timeline of The Legend of Zelda. So we're gonna play Skyward Sword, and I'm gonna upload videos of that entire playthrough. I'm gonna stream Skyward Sword, and then I'm gonna upload those live streams on YouTube as well. A little bit edited just to get to make it more YouTube friendly, and then we're also gonna see Minish Cap, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess. I'm skipping Four Swords because to me they don't really add that much value to the timeline as games of their own, and they're also really difficult to get to play because they demand at least two players, and well, let's just say it's easier said than done. But yeah, this is going to be the first video of Skyward Sword, available to you guys as you watch it now, and the second video is going to be up in a very short while. I don't have any particular schedule to follow on this stuff. I'm just uploading as I have the time, the energy. I'm currently working a lot on my own mental health, and I have my job on the side of this and all that stuff. So yeah, this is what's gonna happen. This is gonna be a little bit different from what I originally planned my YouTube channel to be all about, but honestly, this is what I would prefer it to be all about. So regular gameplays is gonna be a thing here, and yeah, I really hope you're gonna enjoy this as much as I will enjoy it. And sorry, I'm catching a cold here. I really just hope you're all gonna enjoy it as much as I will, and I can't wait to see you here. Enjoy. As you can see, I have already started an adventure there. But yeah, basically to start off the game, before we're starting off the game. Oh, thank you, NFC. Appreciate it as always. But welcome to the channel. Welcome to the community. It's good to the cam's way too small. Okay, I can make it just a little bit bigger, just for you guys. Just for you guys. We're probably not gonna see. Go back to full screen. Yeah. Okay. We're on that one now. Look, I've even got my I've got the Link style ponytail now, right? If we're looking at the Breath of the Wild version. But yeah, I unfortunately I can't go back to. Not a lot of people would want this. So, however, before the history of this game, and the history before this game is basically that because of the Triforce that the goddesses left behind in Hyrule under the care of Hylia, a demon lord emerged from a great crack in the ground, which and he brought with him his army of other monsters and demons and monstrosities basically, and he tried to claim the Triforce for his own and to mock the goddesses, and he tried to kill the goddess Hylia. He ended up mortally wounding the goddess Hylia, but to save the Hylians, which were the people and the race closest to the goddesses in Hyrule, Hylia decided to place all the Hylians on a rock, which she sent up to the sky to keep them safe. And then she created a barrier of clouds between Hyrule, or the world. It wasn't even known as Hyrule back then, and those islands in the sky, and that is basically what we're living on
in this game. So now we're going on, and that story is important because of this, because now the crack is reappearing. Hey Merc, welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone. Oh, Nefsy, you're breaking Merc's heart. You're breaking her heart. You can't do that. That's not fair. Don't worry, Merc. The love that Nefsy gives to me, I can share some of it with you. I will share some of it with you when you're live streaming later on, if you're gonna stream, because I'll rage you. Jokes on everyone. She doesn't have a heart. She's heartless. I don't believe that, Merc. I don't believe that. You seem pretty sweethearted to me. And yeah, everyone remember that. Basically, this is this stream, like this whole thing, is also gonna appear on my YouTube channel. A quick reminder. Which is why I'm trying to keep as little, graphics, stream-related graphics on this on the screen as possible. Keep the kids. I don't want them. Oh my god. Oh my god. We share our mistakes. I think it was a mistake leaving the chat off the stream. This is golden. Ow. And one thing that I'm looking forward to try out with this version is because I'm used to the original Skyward Sword on the Nintendo Wii, and yeah, the motion controls. I loved the motion controls in that game. Everyone hated on the motion controls. I don't understand what was the deal with that. I found them pretty amazing, pretty easy to use, really. They would get a bit disoriented sometimes, but just recalibrate the control and it was all good again. Ow! My throat! But now, I have tried a little bit of this game, as you could see, but I've only tried with the motion controls on the Switch. And to be fair, motion controls on the Switch sucks, because the sensors in these Joy-Cons are just too weak. However, they have also added an option to just use buttons. No motion controls at all. We use the motion controls to, aim, but apart from that, no motion controls. And I'm gonna try out that this time. So it's gonna be different. It's gonna take a while to get used to it. But yeah. We'll learn it together. By the way, halla hello. Velkommen til streamen. Hyggelig å se deg. That was Norwegian, everyone. For everyone wondering. That's how I listen. That's blah. That's what I sound like usually. That's how I talk usually. By the way, hey Merc, I realized that I just oh my god, I should probably not stream today. Talking's not going well. I just realized that I was equally rude to not say hello to you, I think. Thinking's not my strongest side today either. Well, it's not my strongest side anyway. Thinking back at it. Yeah, I'm Norwegian. Jeg bodde i Norge. Så, ja. Hei, folkens. Hyggelig å se dere. Hyggelig å prate med dere. I don't know if anyone understood that. I know the two people in the chat will understand what I just said. But I'm also Swedish. I'm half Swedish, but I do consider I barely have any contact with my Norwegian relatives. Like, it's just my mom, my brother, my aunt, and her family. There are more of us in Norway, but like Oh god. Oh yeah, I forgot I can't use the right joystick to control the camera anymore. But yeah, there are more of us here in Norway, but I don't have any contact with them. So, but I have a lot of contact uh with my Swedish relatives. Så därför jag känner mig mer svensk än norsk, ska jag vara helt framåt med det är bara en känsla jag har. Det faller mig mer naturligt typ att prata om mig själv som svenska, men vad kan jag säga? Det är bara så det är. Jag har massa kontakt med mina svenska relationer, så det är bara det känns bara mer rättvist att bara känna mig mer svensk. Definitely claim Swedish much cooler. Merc says she's just English. Well, just being English isn't bad at all. I would have killed to be English. How the fuck do I do this? That's how I do this. Look at that. I can break the pots. It breaks the flowers with them. And that's... It literally... Yeah, I mean, in Norway... This is fun. This is really fun. That's how you look. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is how you do it. Okay, yeah, but we're probably not gonna do that. I keep my thumb just automatically goes to using my right thumb on the joystick to try to move the camera, but it doesn't work that way anymore. I have to hold in L at the same time, and then I can do it. But yeah, in Norway, people tend to call Swedish stupid, but I find that pretty ironic because Norway is the only country in Scandinavia which was colonized by the Swedish for a very long time. So if the Swedes are stupid, what are the Norwegians then? That's kind of how it works. Sweden have the best bands. I have to admit, I do prefer Swedish music over Norwegian music. I've always thought that, you know, Sweden has got better music than Norway. To be fair, Norway has a lot of cool music, or, you know, artists as well. But yeah, Sweden is just one, because I knew I was gonna get bullied, and the teachers didn't care about the students either. But when I changed to school, I moved further a bit out of town, started at a new school, and my mom mentioned the same thing to my new head teacher in that school, and he was like, "Yeah, but you know, that's just adorable, and he's like, you know, if he wants to, we'll teach him. We'll find some Swedish guy who can teach him some Swedish as well." So there were two completely different reactions to me, really. But to make this unnecessarily long story a little bit shorter, yes, Simon, I have actually lived in Sweden as well. If it hadn't been for my son, I would probably live in Sweden now. But again, then to keep you up with the game, basically, Zelda is playing the role of the goddess because, according to legend, the goddess had a chosen hero in which wielded a holy sword to help her fight the demon king, and they've kept this tradition that during every graduation exam, like the wing ceremony, a girl among the students would represent the goddess Hylia, and but yeah, she also brought him there because yeah, that's just the camera really, but I can turn down the brightness of the ring light. Just check out logic capture here as well. It's always this stuff. Every single time. That should help a little bit at least. Perfect. What is a live stream without technical issues? Okay, so basically I'm using, to quickly recap what I just said, I'm using a C922 Pro webcam, which is among the better, you know, a little bit cheaper webcams, but still very limited to what it can actually do because of that tiny image sensor. But I do have a Sony Alpha 6000 like DSLR camera as well, which I did use quite a lot, but like I sent it in for a service because it just stopped working one day, and then when they returned it and they had repaired it, it didn't work with my dummy battery anymore. So that was a shame. So I just can't use the camera for an entire stream anymore because it'll run out of battery. And the solution to that is the webcam, because I have 2 webcams, so I should probably use at least one of them. But for future videos and stuff like that, because I do actually have a sponsor, as some of you know, lighting is definitely more important than a good webcam. Definitely. But looking as I'm sponsored and stuff like that, and with the huge potential of this device as well, onwards, if I make any like non-gameplay videos on YouTube, I am going to record all of that with the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III, because like the just the sheer potential of that phone and the content you can make with that phone is just incredible. It's insane. So yeah, that's gonna happen. But back to the game again. I am so easily sidetracked in this. So now they're basically talking about the Loftwings, which is the birds that they're riding. They use the birds to travel between the floating islands in the sky. And the special thing here is that like every Loftwing is a unique color of its own, but but like Link's Loftwing is special because it's a crimson Loftwing. It's a red Loftwing, which is a race of Loftwings which the people of Skyloft thought had gone extinct because it was so rare to see. And Link's Crimson Loftwing is the last living recorded Crimson Loftwing at that time. However, they are living at a pretty small area in the sky, so yeah, it's pretty difficult for them to just. It's kind of dumb of them to assume that Loftwing in that tiny area of this huge sky is the only one still living. I bet there are there are definitely more of them out there. They're just not there. The only real reason for using a DSLR is so you can use it for thumbnail pics, and at full screen they are obviously better. Yeah, definitely. Like I did use the DSLR for, you know, my face cam here during gameplay scenes as well for a while, which was unnecessarily high quality at that point. You didn't really get to see the higher quality when the image is so small, which is why I went over to using the webcam in gameplay, in the gameplay scenes. And then after a while, I started after I got I had sent in the camera on service to get it repaired. They after that I started using the camera just in, you know, the chatting or the intermission scene, and then when going into gameplay, I'm using the webcam again. So now Zelda has gotten us into quite a hairy situation here because she is forcing us to train, but the problem is that Link couldn't sense his bird out there anymore. And, you know, the owner of a bird can always sense the bird. The bird is always close to the owner. Because this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. But she didn't believe him because she thought he was just trying to slack away from more training. Which he obviously didn't, and they were like, "Okay, his bird took quite a long time getting there. What's the deal with that?" It's not a coincidence. It's what's gonna happen now. So as Gapora here mentions, who's also the father of Zelda and the headmaster of the Knights Academy, like, the Lost Wings never ignore the call of their masters because they're such loyal animals. So yeah, basically, we are now going on a tiny mission to see if we can find our Loft Wing again. Why not get a cab? Don't need all this training and shit. That's a very good point. They probably invented cabs after this. In this one. And one thing that I have noticed about The Legend of Zelda is that the leaders or the elders of a village, city, whatever, race, anything in the Legend of Zelda games are always fat or hairy or both. Always. No exceptions. There is one exception. And that's in Twilight Princess, but the elder of that village does have quite long hair. So maybe not an exception, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah, so basically that's happening now. Where the fuck was that? Okay. What do I do now? Yeah, I head to the plaza. Like, you can enter the academy and like talk to some of the guys and stuff, but everyone's gonna say like, "Oh, go to the plaza and check it out there." It's gonna, like, you can just go straight ahead to the plaza. You don't even need to talk to anyone. And that's where we meet the bully of the academy, who obviously has chosen to pick on Link. There's always a bully that chooses to pick on Link. And, you know, those two are trying to, you know, bully Link as well, but they're not that tough. And also, he's in love with Zelda. So he's really just jealous of how Link and Zelda are such, you know, close friends and stuff like that. Where's the scruffy pile of red feathers? Give him back! You hit him! You just said it yourself! And he just immediately went over to this. Like, I gotta be honest with you guys. I really don't understand what they were thinking making this just a remaster of the game. Like, look at Groos's fingers. Like, they barely have any polygons there. You know, the entire guy barely has any polygons. And then both Zelda and Link are like, they put so much work into Zelda and Link. And they barely put any work in the other characters, which kind of sucks. And I really don't understand why they didn't put more work into Groose, because he actually becomes quite an important character as well. He's not just any regular side character, you know? But like, I do get it, in the original game, it was for the Nintendo Wii, so software was limited, but at the same time, they only had a year to make this game. The same way with Majora's Mask. In Majora's Mask, well, it was quite easy to do that, but in this game, they built an entirely new engine. They built an entirely new story. They redesigned the entire Zelda franchise. You know, all the characters were made from the ground up. In Majora's Mask, they just reused a lot of assets from Ocarina of Time and made a new game out of that. But like, I do realize that doing all of that in a year's time demands a lot. It's really hard for them, and yeah, it's not easy. But when remastering this game, first of all, like, the studio behind Zelda didn't do it themselves. I don't know if it's some kind of sub-genre studio at Nintendo, or if Nintendo is the studio. Kind of confused at how that actually works over at Nintendo. But like, I do know for a fact that this game, like this remastered version of the game, was made by an entirely different studio, which Nintendo hired in to make the game. And like, they could just have this game, honestly, like this game and, you know, Twilight Princess really deserves a proper remake, not just remasters. You know, Ocarina of Time got a remake, Majora's Mask got a remake, A Link to the Past got a remake. They did sell it as a brand new IP as well. Just a direct sequel, not a direct sequel, but a sequel of A Link to the Past. And the Wind Waker as well got they call it a remaster. I would definitely call that a proper remake, because that game looks so much better than the original. And honestly, the only difference between the original and this is that the characters are more clearly outlined from, you know, the background and 60 frames. That's it. And they have removed some things from the game as well. But yeah, it is what it is. That's like Nintendo. We're talking about the same studio that also, like, we're talking about Nintendo, the same studio who sold HD remasters of, you know, the Mario All-Stars game, and they were just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do anything with these games. We're just gonna port them over and sell it as a brand new game. So you can actually, there are some things you could say about Nintendo, but still though, their games are just incredible. Yeah. I'm gonna watch the map. I don't need to watch the map. Watching the map is for losers. It's probably the most male thing I have ever said. Yeah, I want to train with the sword. I'm on a train with the sword. The blade. The practice. But yeah, like I gotta say, like I grew up I've been a gamer for about 20 years. Uh you can honestly say Wii's better than. But I believe it's more of what I kind of spent more time on, because I grew up playing, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, like when I was 3, 4 years old, before heading to daycare with my mom. So I did, like, my first ever gaming experience was the Nintendo 64 and then the PlayStation 2 and Gran Turismo with my dad. But like the Nintendo Wii was the very first console which was, my own. I had, like, it was mine. I got it for Christmas, and like Zelda Twilight Princess with it as a Christmas gift. but like I just spent I would definitely say that the Wii was a much bigger part of my childhood than the Nintendo 64 was, because as an old console, my mom was very careful with it, and she didn't want me to play too much on it. It's actually my mom's. I lied to you guys. It's not mine. It's my mom's, but it's technically mine because my mom hasn't had that console in her apartment for the last 4 years. But I did play a lot more on the Nintendo Wii, and like I would bring my friends over to my place to play Twilight Princess together with them, and we would like slowly progress through the game. We didn't have any internet at the time, so we were just exploring and figuring out everything on our own. If they didn't come to me, I would bring the Wii over to them, and I just spent so much time and so much of my childhood revolved around playing games on the Wii, especially then Twilight Princess. So it kind of just became a bigger part of my childhood, and I think that's what it comes to. But I will definitely say that the N64 definitely is a classic. Like, it's probably, well, not probably, it's definitely a much more valuable console than the Nintendo Wii is, just based on the games and how iconic it was and all that. But I am 23 years old, to answer your question. Shaving did play Wii games on Wii U, though I enjoy the Wii U a lot myself. Sad the platform is basically dead. Yeah, I do have a Wii U as well, and I have some Nintendo Wii games which I play on the Wii U, and that's why I definitely feel like the Wii U is better than the original Wii, just because the Wii U is basically an original Wii, but better. Literally better. And it's like 100% backwards compatible. There is no, like, if you are even considering buying it, there is no point in buying a secondhand Nintendo Wii now, when you can get a secondhand Nintendo Wii U instead and get even more out of it. So that's why I really feel like it's like the Wii U could have been so much more if they had just promoted it properly as a brand new console and not just an add-on. The N64 is actually one of the few consoles I've never owned, but it's top 5 consoles ever for sure. Yeah, like, I would say, to me, like, you could just forget Xbox. To me, Xbox isn't even close to being on the list, but I would definitely say that probably, to me, the Nintendo Wii U at the top. Now, the PlayStation 4 at the top, and then Nintendo Wii U, and then, the N64, PlayStation 2, and then further on, Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, okay, so that's. Oh, controlling the bird is so much easier now. What the fuck? Why did they just do this? Yeah, but honestly, you have the Xbox 360 as number 1? How can you? How dare you? Yeah, I know I can use that. And then exit charge. Great. What's number 5? I'm curious to see your number 5. PC. No, PC is just way too big. PC can mean literally anything. Whee! It was also the console which was. It was also easily. English, man. English. The Xbox 360 was also easily the console which would break down the fastest. And that's my problem with it. It was rushed too fast. Like, it was way too. The release of it was rushed. It was released way too early. And I do like. No. No. Like, the prob. If the 360 hadn't suffered with that, the red ring of death thing, if that hadn't been the issue, it probably would have been better. I would probably have said that, the Xbox wasn't that bad. But looking at how you have on the first 5 you mentioned the PC as your 5th option. And I would say that I would definitely say that adding PC to that list just removes every single point of you having the Xbox at the top, because the PC can literally play natively any kind of Xbox game at the market. So there is literally no exclusive games for Xbox, because you can get everyone on PC in better quality. So I would definitely say, I get the PC was a joke. I get it was a joke. I was an Xbox kid that played 12 hours a day, and I got 1 red ring. Yeah, but that's you had some people, you had some of them which would survive. Those were great. Like, I did try the Xbox 360, and like, it was fun to play on. I never really got the hang of the controller and stuff like that. I grew up with I grew up. I grew up with the Nintendo 64, so like, difficult controller shouldn't be a problem for me. But as a standard controller, I grew up with the PlayStation 2. So I kind of fell for that one. Like, when I play PC, I use a DualSense on every game, or the Logitech G29 steering wheel. But like, to me, in my eyes, as long as you have a PC, a capable gaming PC, there is literally no valid reason for you to get an Xbox. And that's kind of the problem for me, because Microsoft is trying to get into the console market. They're still not even remotely close to beating either Sony or Nintendo on the gaming market when it comes to revenue. So why won't they just start making Xbox exclusives, games that will only be available on the Xbox, like Sony has done with the PlayStation exclusives? And they're kind of moving away from it. with adding some of their PlayStation exclusives to PC and stuff like that. But honestly, it's just like it still benefits Sony because it's their own studios who are making those games, and those studios like they, they only they only earn on it anyways. But I just don't understand why Microsoft is making the Xbox when you can like save up just a little bit more and get a more than capable gaming computer, and you are just as far. You have access to all the same games. Like that was one thing that I really reacted a bit on with the Bethesda showcase and stuff like that. Like, why? Yeah, exactly. Like you have to. If somebody wants to buy a console for 1 or 2 games, that's probably not fair. That's why I waited for such a long time before I bought a Switch as well, because originally I bought the Switch because of one game, because of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But I had also sold my PS2, my Nintendo Wii, my 3DS to buy a Wii U to get Breath of the Wild on that one. I was originally planning on buying a PS4 when I bought my first Switch. But I ended up selling the Switch again because I already had Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm just not interested in the other games on Switch yet. So so like there wasn't really any reason for me to have a Switch. Now, on the other hand, there is a lot more interesting games on the Switch, which made it which made it more reasonable for me to actually get one. And of course, this game as well, and the upcoming Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel as well, is also a very big reason for me to actually get the game or to get the console. Um, Jesus fucking Christ, get back here. Um, so yeah, you can definitely like argue with that. If it's only for 1 or 2 games, it's not worth it, really. But to me, like, I mostly buy the PlayStation because I just enjoy having a regular console to just casually play through some of the games that I love, even though they are multi-platform games. But also, I just really love some of Sony's PlayStation exclusives. Uncharted, well, I don't really enjoy The Last of Us, but they're great games. Gran Turismo, stuff like that. Um, so that's kind of why. But also, I'm used to having a PlayStation, so that's also why I wanted it. But it's also a great entertainment system. Like, you just hook it up to your TV, and you have a great console, but you also have a great DVD, Blu-ray player, and stuff like that. So there are quite a lot of reasons to get a console apart from just the games, which is also what made the PlayStation 2 such a big deal as well. Okay, let me just Shoving had a Nintendo DS Lite, then she got a 3DS. We regret selling it. Yeah, me too. Came to the Wii U and later on the Switch. Yeah, that's basically me as well. I had my mom had the Nintendo 64, and then I had a Game Boy Advance Blue, and then I got the Nintendo Wii, and then I bought myself the Wii U instead, and now I have the Switch. So it's kind of that's kind of that's kind of my history with Nintendo. But I would definitely say that I gotta fix my camera again. Fuck this. But yeah, I definitely feel like when it comes to just pure allegiance to a brand, it's all Nintendo, because it's part of my childhood, man. I used to play on Nintendo consoles like every single day. So yeah, what can I say? I'm one of them. But then, yeah, Shang does have a 360 Slim. You didn't even know it was a thing. Oh my god, yeah. That's kind of fun though. And yeah, definitely an Xbox is cheaper than a PC. So I do get that point, but it's kind of better. I would definitely say it's kind of better to, if you are gonna have like your first console, go with either Nintendo or the PlayStation, because you get a wider range of video games when you take one of those. At least the PlayStation, like I would say the PlayStation gives the biggest variety of games on the market per now. And then like going further in, if you're starting to get interested in those Microsoft related games, maybe if you like have absolutely no chance of ever getting a PC, get an Xbox as well. But like, yeah, cause yeah, nowadays I'd say PC gives the widest range, because if you start off with the PlayStation but you want to play even more different kind of games, try to save up for a gaming PC, because you're gonna get so much more out of that PC and it lasts even longer. Yeah, of course it costs a lot more, but you also get higher quality on the games you're playing than you would on both the PlayStation and the Xbox. And that's, I would say that like the ultimate collection, if you want to have the ultimate collection of gaming consoles without having to buy anything unnecessary, it's just PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo, and that's going to give you access to every single video game on the market, basically. And like, if you need access to any older games from older generations of consoles, you could always use, emulators. Of course, Nintendo emulators is kind of shady. And Nintendo is hitting quite hard on people creating the emulators and people using emulators as well. You'd say you're an Xbox fanboy, but yeah, the SNES was your childhood and it got you into gaming. That's really, that's really cool. I mean, how old are you again, FC? I haven't really caught that. Because I kind of feel like, not necessarily the youngest generation now, most kids nowadays start off with either PlayStation or Xbox, but I kind of feel like people from yeah, 29. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like people in, their 20s will definitely have Nintendo as like as the thing that got them into gaming. Everyone started with Nintendo in that generation. You grew up poor. Yeah, same. Feel ya. I was so happy when I got the Nintendo Wii, because like there was no chance I would have, like, either me or my mom would have been able to afford that on our own. Trying to keep up with the chat here. PC has Forza though. That's true. That's true. Forza are great games. Honestly, they are incredibly good looking, and they have a really wide variety of cars. They have a lot of cars in which I wish Gran Turismo had as well. But I have to say, as a sim racer, I do prefer, I don't really like Forza that much. I've tried some Forza games, I have, but I prefer Gran Turismo on that one, because it's more sim racing. It's more sim racy. Is that a word? I don't know. So the Sega Mega Drive, yeah, that was cool. I did see one once, but I never got to try it out, which made me really sad. Okay, so let's go back to the game at hand. This is the wing ceremony. And we are going to fly the shit out of these guys. Oh god. Here we go. And he gets jelly and he's like, hey, fuck you. This is my time to shine. And then they're gonna cheat. I wish I kept the wood probs go for like $1,000 now. That's very true. That's very true. And that's also the cool thing with, you know, those older consoles. They are worth so much at the moment. I'm gonna take off, bro, but have a good one. I will definitely have a good one. You have a good one yourself. Enjoy the rest of the night. Ow, fuck. Sweden or yeah, I totally agree with you there. Fuck. Got it! Got it! Because I'm a pro at this game. That's what this is all about. Yeah, would love that. Would love that. I really enjoyed talking with you. It was fun to have you here. I'll try to fix the light for you before you comment on it next time. I know. I just fixed it. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it before you commented on it. Okay, so now... Oh my god. Now stuff is going down. We won the wing ceremony. So now we get to go through this graduation process ritual with at least you've made... I definitely need you. I still need you. But I'll accept you leaving now. I'll accept it. If Merc's streaming, I'll probably see you in her chat later on. Yeah, so this is part of the ritual, basically. She places a statue there. Plays the harp. Trying to pull an all-nighter. Well, good luck with that. I haven't done that in ages. I'll probably never be able to do it again after I became a father. And we got the sailcloth, which is really cool. I just followed you on Instagram, by the way. Oh, look who is here. Hello, Smoke. It's great to see you. And Pot with a subscription, 6 months of a party penis. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you, Smoke. Thank you for the raid. And welcome, everyone, to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Another one of my childhood dreams to be able to stream. I used to play this game a lot during middle school. And, like, every time I was playing it, I was just sitting there and, you know, like, my dream was to become a content creator, being able to play this game live or, you know, add it up on YouTube and stuff like that. And now I'm doing both. Which also means that this video, this live stream is going to be able on YouTube as well. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm struggling a lot with words today, guys. I'm sorry. And on and on and on. That's my jam, Smoke. You know what you're coming to. You know what you're gonna get, at least. So now the ritual is almost done. We're almost, I don't know. We have almost ascended to knighthood. I don't know what the fuck you say. We're gonna do one last thing here, and that is being pushed off the statue. And there we go. Landed in the middle, but the cutscene isn't gonna show that. The cutscene is gonna show us failing. Have you seen something like that? That's fucking bullshit. I don't approve. I don't approve of that. By the way, hey, Truck Stefan. And oh my god, it's so romantic. Look at these young people in love, wanting each other. None of them daring to ask the other one out. Which is a shame, really. Although the girl did make the first move. That's not something you see every day. So yeah, basically, we won the wing ceremony. Link is now a knight of the Knights Academy. And that is progress in the game. And now she's complimenting Link for winning. She's being like, oh, fuck, you were awesome today. You were fucking epic. Like, oh, please love me. We never find out what she meant to talk to Link about. That's something that it is kind of bothering me. But now, shit's getting wild. What's going on? Well, you're fucking falling. That's what's going on. And he's falling. Now we're falling. Now everyone's falling. And that's how it's gonna go. That's basically the game. Everyone's just falling. You're gonna love it. There is actually a lot of falling in the game. When I look back at it. There is a lot of falling in the game. Well, intentional falling, for sure. But I mean, jumping, falling, it's basically the same. No, I'm not going to skip the cutscene. I just want to get quickly through the dialogue. So basically, Link has experienced like weird dreams lately in the game of that character that we just saw, like telling him of, you know, his destiny, that he is destined to be a great person, stuff like that. That he has a very important role in the history of the world to play, which is what we just heard there as well. So now Link has been recovered by others. His left wing flew him back, and he's been there. But nobody knows where Zelda is. She's missing. A black tornado. That's not good. Although most tornadoes in real life is black. or they're gray. This one, the one in the game wasn't even black, it was brown. It's the price of being the legendary chosen hero. Great power, a lot of courage, but fucking colorblind. It's just how it goes. Maybe he sees the world in black and white. I mean, when you look at a black and white picture, brown becomes black, basically. Or gray. Dark gray. I don't fucking know. I'm just trying to diffuse attention. Quote Fred or George Weasley. Harry Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. At one point, Harry Potter was just as important for me as the Legend of Zelda was. I was watching Harry Potter like every single day. Fuck! Now, though, I would definitely say that I'm more a Lord of the Rings kind of guy. What is your... Okay, question to the chat here. What is your absolute favorite film series at the moment? And how does it affect the games you play? Because whether you want to admit it or not, your favorite movie genre does also show, like, in the games you like to play. So you're a fucking... You're a hobbit? I wouldn't mind being a hobbit, though. The hobbits are amazing. They're just living their life, man. They're just enjoying it. They're smoking every day. Smoking, eating. It's basically what they do. I'd say hell yeah to a life like that. I don't care if I grow fat. It's fucking smoking and eating. That's all I need to do. Don't have to worry about work anymore. Oh, okay, they do need... But most of the hobbits, they grow their own crops. So... Not enough hair on my toes. Yeah, that's where I lose myself. The hair game on my toes... It's just not strong enough, man. Sad. It's a sad life. Let's just pick up one of those and get done with it. But yeah, hi. We're just starting off the whole thing with, yeah, you're a fucking hobbit. Also, I do believe we're both a little too high or too tall to actually be hobbits. Which is also a shame. But no, that's life. It's just the way it goes. But yeah, what are you guys' favorite movie series? And what is your favorite like game franchise or game on its own? Because I'm pretty sure that the genre of the movies is gonna be practically the same genre as the games you enjoy playing. At least they are for me. Because honestly, as mentioned, my favorite movie series is like, well, it's Lord of the Rings. Basically, anything Tolkien related. I'm very skeptical to the new Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power series coming onto Amazon. I don't know what I'm feeling about that one. But like, looking at the games that I enjoy playing the most, I do love these kind of adventure exploration games. Especially the Legend of Zelda is my top tier, video game franchise. I just love the Zelda games. But then I also do love racing games, and I do have some car-related movies that I really just love watching, like the Need for Speed movie. I think that one's just amazing. I can't stand the Fast and Furious movies. They're way too unrealistic, to be honest. But yeah, I also love, that Ford versus Ferrari movie. Don't know the original. I don't remember the original name for it. And the Rush movie, the one about James Hunt and Niki Lauda. That movie is great. That's fucking epic. Fake taxi is good. Oh my god. Well, it is car related, that's for sure. That's for sure. I'm just a little bit doubtful of how much focus is on the car in that. But yeah, because of that, I do love, racing games. But I do, I do also, enjoy a good, like, I'm looking so much forward to Hogwarts Legacy. It's probably my most anticipated game of this year. Like, I'm just so hyped for it. I'm so stoked for it. I can't wait to play that game. It's gonna be awesome. I've watched some gameplay footage of it, especially the combat in the game. It looks epic. It looks just like you would imagine a proper AAA Harry Potter game would look like. It's just fucking awesome, man. I love it already, and I haven't even tried it. But I do fear that I will be a bit disappointed because my expectations are so high for the game, and the hype is so like real for the game as well. But also another one of my, because I'm trying to put together a top 5 games of 2022 for me, so far, and one game that I'm really surprised made it to that list was Kena Bridge of Spirits. Oh, that was easy. Okay. Racing in Skyward. Which relates to the title, Skyward Sword. But yeah, like, I do fear that the hype is going to get the better of the game when it comes out, but honestly, Hogwarts Legacy looks so good. Pod, if you're still in the chat, you were probably pretty hyped for that game as well, weren't you? Because you're a Harry Potter fan as well, I believe. But yeah, one game that I'm really surprised ended up on my top 5 game of the year list is Kena Bridge of Spirits, which I have streamed a little bit on my channel here. I kind of feel like the game is inspired by, Uncharted when it comes to the exploration aspect of the game. Like, it's a very, what's it called? A big scale exploration game. You climb high, towers, high, like, man-built structures and stuff like that. But at the same time, I get a lot of Zelda vibes from the game as well, which is probably why I love that game that much as well, because I do love Uncharted, I do love The Legend of Zelda, and it's probably inspired by a lot of other games as well, but it does also implement a lot of, what's it called? I almost remember the word, what the fuck? Well, it does bring a lot of, Buddhism and stuff into it as well, with, the wooden masks and the way they look at spirits and stuff like that. But the game is also, like, brutal when it comes to the bosses. You really have to take your time to learn what abilities you have and utilize them in an effective way, because if you don't, if you just rely on just whacking your stick at the bosses, you're gonna fucking die. I learned that the hard way. Unfortunately. But yeah, it's I kind of feel like I have a suspicion that Hogwarts Legacy is gonna top my Game of the Year list quite easily, or not necessarily that easily. It all depends on how Kena evolve or moves onwards, and how that game turns out when I'm done playing it, when I'm finished with it. But I'm really surprised that Kena actually just, I mean, it's just such a good game. I've never heard of the studio making it, and it looked interesting, but it's really a good game. I would recommend everyone who's into either Zelda, Uncharted, or anything like that to just try out that game. You're not in any kind of way gonna regret trying out that game. Oh my god. But yeah, we are going to. I'm gonna check something very quickly to see who is live. Yep. Mercury Summer is live. She's gonna be playing Fortnite, so we're gonna just wrap up the stream. We're gonna wrap up the stream here. I feel like this is a good place to end the episode. This is, as mentioned, also gonna be up on YouTube after live streaming this. So I'm not gonna drag out the live streams too long, just because there's no point in doing it, really. So now, what we've learned in the game is, well, Link just acquired the Goddess Sword, which is going to be quite important in the game later on for, the entire rest of the Zelda timeline as well. It's a sword forged by the goddess and the sages. Fuck. Ow. It's a sword forged by the goddess and the sages of Hylia and the goddesses. And it functions like, as you saw when I pulled it out of the pedestal, you raise the sword skyward, and it, gathered power, a special kind of power from that. It's a legendary blade that the chosen hero of the goddess herself used in the fight against the demon king. And now, basically, because Link was the chosen hero of that age, he was able to pull the sword out of the pedestal. He is therefore supposed to, according to destiny, to go and get Zelda, and he needs that sword to be able to find Zelda again, because she has been brought below the clouds to the surface, which is called in this game, which is basically Hyrule in later games. So we need this tablet to get to one area or one region of Hyrule. I'm gonna refer, in the game they refer to it as the surface. I'm gonna refer to it as Hyrule because it's Hyrule. It's that easy. It's the, yeah. I'm I don't know what I'm doing, really. I'm just talking. I'm just rambling on. So basically, this is the game. We're gonna get out, start searching for Zelda, try to find her. Because, yeah, as he mentions, the Great Apocalypse. The Great Demon King is trying to, reorganize his armies. And his monsters is trying to resurrect him, to bring him back to life. And if that would happen, all hell would break loose, and it's the end of the world, really. And mind you, this is like, when it comes to the timeline of the Legend of Zelda games, this game is the first, like, the beginning of the timeline. This game is the start of the entire thing, which is why we don't see Ganondorf in this game. But I'm not gonna spoil too much of it. But, like, in all the other games, Link is using the green tunic, and then this is where that originated from, because in the other games it's tradition. The chosen hero was always clad in green, but here it's just random, because all of the other knights at the senior knights at the Knight Academy have to wear tunics like this one, but they're all different colors, and Link is the only one using a green tunic. And yeah, since he was the first, the first chosen hero as Link, it was just brought onwards that, okay, the chosen hero from now on is going to wear a green tunic, and those exact clothes were brought onwards, at least for a little while. So, yes, that is it. We're just gonna get out into the world, because we're getting a lot of stuff now. People are just giving away stuff left and right here. So there we go. No, I'm not gonna bother talking to you. You're a dick. And then let's talk to this guy. He's gonna give us a shield, because a lot of people go to the bazaar. You can buy your first shield at the bazaar, and a lot of people do that. But what a lot of people don't know is that you can get a free shield from this guy. Gotta figure out how to use that. Yes, I know all of that. Give me a break. I don't care. Going ahead, we're also gonna get a free empty bottle. Those are always handy to have. We're definitely gonna need it, at least. Please don't speak to me, you creep. There you go. Thank you! Thank you! That's also a reference to another guy in this game. Those who've played this game know. Yes, I'll take some of that. I'm playing this game in regular mode, though. Can I change that? Options. Display? No. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I probably have to finish the game first. Okay, well, that's a shame. My first playthrough of Twilight Princess was in hero mode, which ups the difficulty and like removes hearts and stuff. Like when you cut grass, you can't get hearts; you only get rupees. I don't think it does the same thing here, because you have these plants which grow hearts, healing hearts, or recovery hearts as it's called in this game. But at least it ups the difficulty. You take more damage, you deal... I do believe you deal the same amount of damage, though. But enemies are more difficult. But yeah! We're gonna call it quits on that note. Start the music again. Let's see here. Can I please just mute? I can do this though. There we go. That's a lot easier. Yeah. Ow. Fuck! I promise, I'm fine. I'm alive. We are going... I'm just gonna wrap up the stream there. I think this is a good place to end it. I'm just yeah, I'm really happy with how this stream went. I really appreciated seeing you guys here. Really fun to start a playthrough of this game, and we're gonna play through this game, and then we're gonna follow, keep playing the different Zelda games in a chronological order, and we're gonna follow the child timeline. We're gonna follow the child timeline. So basically, Skyward Sword, Minish Cap, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and then we're gonna go with Breath of the Wild again, because I have my own theory of where Breath of the Wild falls in. No, not Breath of the Wild, by the way, but we're gonna play Breath of the Wild anyways, but not according to this timeline, because I have my own theory about that, and I'm gonna talk about that, but that's gonna be a video on its own on my YouTube channel. So just if you're interested in Zelda, you know, just keep your eyes open for that. I don't know when it's gonna, be up there, but yeah. But I would just like to thank everyone who watched this. And we're now gonna raid Merc, who is an incredibly cool girl. Just love her content, love her personality. She's awesome. So just stay tuned for more of her. Stay in the raid, and I'll see you on Sunday on, well, you know it, Rec Day. It'll be fun. So until next time, see you later. Remember to follow, subscribe, like, comment, whatever you feel like. Remember to do that. It's greatly appreciated. So until next time, have a good one. Bye!